What is going on, good people? How we doing? We in the middle of the week. Hopefully everyone is doing as possibly well as they can. It's been hectic, with what's going on in the world, how that pertains to our mental health, stability. But at the same time, I just hope that we are surrounded by those who can help us through it. Also, hopefully, we're seeking, if we need if we need support, we're seeking that support. So I won't hold no one up too much. I will say that in regards to what's happening in the world, like for me, I think it's so important just to have opportunities to express appreciation towards one another, and today we have an opportunity to do just that. So just a backstory real quick. I feel like I'm one of those original ones that saw your brand from where it started to like where you at now with it. I remember like just one like getting a small like advertisement on the timeline about your brand, and at that time it was coming soon, and it just was an advertisement to follow. That's all it was.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna tap in with it. And then when you went live with everything, I was like, oh yeah, this is dope. I definitely could get behind this. And I am someone that takes pride in shopping and supporting Black brands. Like, 90% of my closet is Black owned brands. The moment I find a Black owned brand that makes jeans that come in a tall size, it's over. The game's over. It's it's over. But I definitely have appreciated your brand, and more important, like what your brand represents and what it stands for. So without any further ado, we have the good brother in here, Brandon Sykes, founder, CEO of Black as Well. Brother, thank you so much for taking some time out to tap in with us, man.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's amazing to see it, man, because I feel like, you've been on now for a couple of years. And what's great about your brand is that your mission, the foundation of your brand is still what it was to begin with, but it's
Yep.
great to see it be recognized more, and I'll save that question for a little later, but
Yeah.
how are you feeling, bro? How do you feel about everything? The success, the consistency that you're having, like, how do you feel about everything?
I'm great. I'm great. It's a lot to learn. Like you said, you've been here since the beginning. So you've seen the growth from where I started to where I am now with the brand. And it's like it's a lot to do. It's a lot to be done. But when you really lock in and you really just take it day by day, step by step, you really learn a lot like throughout this process in entrepreneurship. This is my first business ever.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had another business before. I graduated college in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I have a degree in finance, so I understand finances, but I don't know how to run a business. Well, I didn't know how to run a business until now. And I feel like in this past year and a half, almost, well, more than a year and a half, because June, next month, Juneteenth, is going to be 2 years.
Dope.
In this short amount of time, I've learned so much, not about just me, but about the culture, about business, about everything.
Yeah. So you're saying, so fresh out of graduating from college,
Mhm.
you started this brand. Like, what was that transition for you? What made you want to jump into this and start the brand?
For me, I've always wanted to own something. I just didn't know what I wanted to own.
Yeah.
Like I said, I went to school for finance. So when I was in school, I was just thinking about just starting a company to help people with their finances. And even though I didn't like, I was still learning about finances because I was in school. I didn't have that much knowledge, so I didn't feel like I can be that much of a help
Mm-hmm.
yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to like start a company where I can like grow the company. I can actually build a company from the ground up, because that's essentially what I want to teach people how to do.
Mm-hmm.
And not teach them to get like money from them, teach them to actually like build their own brands and build their own companies from the ground up.
Yeah.
Because for our culture to succeed, we need to have ownership. Like if you look at the history of America, everybody that was successful owned the companies in some way, shape, or form.
Hmm.
So I went into it with that mindset, and I figured the lowest barrier to entry for any company um, is something on the lines of like a clothing brand or something like that. Because all you need really is a logo and a couple shirts.
Hmm.
And once I thought about the name, once I thought about the meaning, it was that was all she wrote. Because
Yeah.
I wanted to own something. Once I figured out I wanted the clothing brand, I wanted to own something with a meaning. I just didn't want to like own apparel brand with just a name on it. Like it had
Yeah.
to have a meaning. And I feel like it's a struggle growing the brand, but the meaning is really what's helping me continue to expand the brand.
Yeah. No, I definitely would agree with that. I think just looking into who are the people that rock your brand. Like, you, man, you are in some incredible company. Like I've seen, like, it's people who are powerhouses, who people come to get financial literacy from. Or, I know the brothers who started the support black colleges and that brand, and
Mm,
their partnership with the NBA, like they rock your stuff. And like I've seen y'all, like, come together and collab and do other things. And
yeah,
that's incredible. And I think from what you stating about like the purpose, like what is behind the brand, what is behind this name, to me, I feel like just from the outside looking in, I think that gravitates people in because, it's your brand is an affirmation, and it's
yeah,
an affirmation that anybody can pick up at any given time of where they are in their life, what they're doing, like to understand, like black is wealth, and it goes beyond having money in your pocket. We talking about this, the value of who we are as a people, like understanding that affirmation is so important, bro.
yeah. So it's crazy because when I thought of the name, like it came out of nowhere. I honestly, I was thinking. So it took me probably 5 minutes to think of the name, but when I thought of it, like it came to me, and I was just like, "Yo, that's amazing." Because when you really look at it, like when you really look at our culture as a whole from the beginning, like we always been through some tragic event, but we still here. We have people that are wealthy. We have people that are like controllers. We have like entrepreneurs. We have all of this in the culture when everything was stacked against us. So
Mm.
even people that didn't have money, like found a way to provide for them, provide for their families, found a way to be successful. Like that's our culture. That speaks to our culture. So that's what I wanted like to get across when I started this clothing brand and I named it Black as Wealth. I
Yeah.
wanted like people to know like you have everything you need to succeed in you because I didn't come from like a family with money. First person in my school to go to college. First person in my family to go to college. First person in my family to graduate. So it was like I didn't use that as an excuse to not do it. I just used that as fuel to get it done.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's what sticks out about your brand the most is that, and don't get me wrong, like there are a lot of brands that's out there that have like affirmation statements like on their shirts, whether it's something like unapologetically black or whatever, some quotes from like James Baldwin or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Um, but that's necessarily not the brand. That's just a piece that we putting together, a collective piece that we putting together.
Mhm.
Your brand is built upon this, the
Yeah.
value of who we are. And
Yep.
I think that to me is something that always sticks out about like your brand and your clothes and just having like that as like a symbol of like whether it's if I'm rocking a hoodie of yours or a t-shirt that says black is wealth, like that means so much, and it's also a real think piece. It's
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with students. I work in higher education.
Okay.
So rocking like the hoodie you got on, like I rocked that the other week. And students was like, "Oh, okay, like that's dope. Like, where'd you get that from?" And I tell them the brand, and so now we sparking into a conversation
Yeah. So
about
I
just
really
like
look at
the importance of it.
I really look at it as a conversation starter because people going to wonder like when they see it, like is it talking about black wealth? Like what is like why is it saying black is wealth?
Hmm.
So I feel like it's really a conversation starter, man. And that's really what's going to help the brand, like in the long run. Because when people wear it, I mean, I've seen some people wear it that I didn't know. I've seen some people wear it that I do know, but people always come up to me and tell me like they've seen somebody in a brand, like in a brand, or they had somebody come up to them and ask them what the brand meant. And in order for the brand to grow, I need that. And I'm glad that I took the route that I took when I was creating this brand at the beginning,
Yeah.
so I can still have that like throughout the growth of the brand.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. I see it. You know, I see it. I see it flourishing. I see how important it is to have like a statement that represents like the value of our community and of our culture.
Hmm.
And for me, it just I'm happy. You know, I'm happy to rock something that you put out. You know, it makes me feel good just to put that on. And also just knowing like the struggles of what it takes for our businesses, Black businesses, to be successful. You know, to see, you know, that in this time of almost 2 years, like you said, Juneteenth will be 2 years on the dot, to see like how far you've like, you know, I feel like your trajectory is like this. This is
Yeah.
like shot, you know what I mean? And I think that's a beautiful thing. But at the same time, I appreciate too that you stick to your mission and maintaining like a connection with the people who support your brand. You know,
Yeah.
like I know you put care into that packaging. Those thank you cards is something that's genuine, that comes from a real space, you know, and as much as you are rubbing elbows with, you know, some of these high profile folk, you still dealing with us down here in this common level too. So
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah, so with me, with the brand, I just didn't want to. I don't just want to sell clothes, man. I don't. I really want them to understand what the brand means.
Hmm.
That's why I put those in there. So before I sell anybody anything, I want them to understand what the brand means, what we stand for as a brand, what we want our culture to stand for. So I make sure I get across what the brand means, because it's really not. It's not about just having money. It's about being wealthy all around. Like we really can change our culture if everyone just gets on the same page with that.
Facts, bro. And it's, you know, it's always a difficult process. You know, I'm
Mhm.
someone that like gripes on the fact like I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand like why some of us within the community take pride in saying we are not a monolithic people. And I understand what they're trying to say. Of course, we're all diverse and we come from different backgrounds. Cool.
Mhm.
The issues that we face in this country is a systematic monolithic problem.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like for those of us who got ancestors that came over here across this Atlantic, that was on that ship, a lot of them was sworn enemies.
Mhm.
But now we got a bigger problem. No one was on that ship talking about we not monolithic. It was like, nah, we gonna figure out how to work together because we
Yeah.
gotta survive this.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that we need to talk a little bit more about, and trying to help people understand that's like we can have success stories here and there about like some of us doing things, but like until all of us is at a place to where we're all successful, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah. It's not. Um, and I feel like we have a spurt of people that's from our culture that are successful, but we really like I'm from Trenton, New Jersey, and it's just like every other hood you can name. But ever since I was a kid, and I'm 28 now, from a kid to being 28, Trenton has been the same. There
Mm,
was never a change, no matter who was in office, no matter what celebrity was successful, no matter what. Like it's always been the same.
mm,
And I feel like we can't look to the outside for change. We got to change ourselves, and that's really why I want to get this brand as big as I want to get it,
yeah,
because I feel like it'll help the culture just realize that we are wealth, man.
yeah,
Because that's it's important. It's really important if we want to change the culture, if we want to change our community. Nobody else can change it. We got to change it ourselves.
that's facts, man. And it's crazy too. Like you see other I would say communities can see that about our
Yeah,
communities, which is
yeah,
why we always set the trend on everything.
yeah. And
Uh,
it's and that's the crazy part. I always say everybody benefits off our culture but us. Everybody. Everybody benefits off our culture but us. And it's crazy because it's the same thing with the continent of Africa. Everybody is benefiting off the continent.
yeah,
Everybody. They're
yeah,
taking everything from over there and then transporting it to other countries. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
happening. It's happening there and it's happening here. Like everybody is benefiting but us. So we need to change that. We really need
yeah.
to change that.
We do, man. We do, and I think that slowly but surely, I think there's more. I would say these past 3 years, I feel like there's been more of an awakening on people understanding within our culture that it is important for us to work together.
Hmm.
It is important for us to look at this as a group versus like individuals. And so that's something that I feel helpful for, especially as someone who is now, a parent and raising children. Like, this can't be their fight. They should not be worried about finding people to help fight. That should already be there by the time they
Yeah.
come of age. So
Yeah.
I'm hopeful from that. I want to go back a little bit. You said that you just don't want the brand to be about the clothing, but you're looking to possibly branch out and to do other things. What are certain other things that you want to be associated with the brand?
So I most definitely want to start speaking at schools, start speaking to the youth, because I feel like when I was younger, I was I was terrible. I was a terrible student. Like I was bad. But I wouldn't say I was bad. I was just looking for attention, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Um, and I just didn't have anybody to look towards that was doing anything like remotely positive. So I want to be that for some people because as I got older, I began to collect. I have a few mentors, even if they're distant mentors, they're still mentors that I can look to and just try to model myself after. So I really want to do that for like other people, other youth, even if it's people like my age, I would do that, because everybody needs somebody to like not look up to, look forward to, I
mm,
should say.
mm-hmm.
So it's not about me like going to like stand over people and then talk down to them. I'm trying to bring them to my level or bring them to a place where they understand that they're not the only one, that they can like reach to somebody for help. They can look to somebody for help,
Yeah.
and essentially benefit like themselves in the long run.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I think with that having that will change a lot. It's about, are we able to see what people are telling us that we can be?
Mm.
Do
Yeah,
we have the opportunity to see that person that is quote unquote successful? Like, can we touch that person?
yeah,
And to go back to talk to youth is okay. Now I see it. I got it. Like I really can see a path of me working or being that because I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this reflection in front of me, so I know I have what I need to get it done.
yeah, yeah.
No, man,
So
that's dope.
I really want to be that man because we all need somebody to look forward to, man. Because it's like if you really feel like you don't have any hope, you're not going to do much. But if you have somebody, you see somebody, you can touch somebody that comes from exactly where you come from, that's been through some of the things that you've been through, and they are successful, that lessens the chance that you're going to do something else, rather than doing the right thing and chasing your goals and dreams.
That's facts, man. That's real, and I think that's something that we can make happen, bro. Like
Yeah,
we,
yeah,
I think it's a lot of people that I know and other people that you may know, that also know folks that work in education. Like we can get that going ASAP, rocket. Like
yeah,
that can happen real quick. But no, I think that's incredible, man. I think oftentimes too, like we tend to sometimes not see this. Like for example. My wife has a shoe line,
hmm,
and she has a shoe line that's for women who wear a size 10 through a size 14.
hmm,
And she make dope shoes, that women can feel confident about putting these shoes on. It's gonna match their fit and all that, right?
hmm,
So on one hand, it's a shoe brand. On the other hand, this is a self empowering brand. because
Yeah,
oftentimes women who wear these size shoes don't fit the normal standard of whatever,
yeah,
right? So now I'm stepping out with like, well, my outfit plus the shoes. Now I feel empowered to do something, and I think
yeah,
that's something else that we tend to like. I don't know. I don't know if we pay attention to that, but that's something that is so important, about like what we rock. It's also empowering. It can
yeah.
feed us. It can, it move in that direction.
So with a brand, I always like say that like I want this brand to make you feel something. Like I don't want you to just like we buy all these designer brands and all this other nonsense to make us feel like we are something of higher class. But with this brand, I want you to feel that same way, but internally.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can take them clothes off, man. You can take them clothes off and they mean nothing.
Mm.
Like they mean absolutely nothing. But like with this brand, it's gonna make you think about like how you value yourself. Because it's just not like external wealth. It's about the wealth that you have in you.
Come on, man. It's that. What's the saying? It's not what's on you, it's what's in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's incredible, fam. So, my last question I have for you tonight, man. Again, I thank you. I appreciate your time,
No
for
problem.
coming on and and tapping in with us, man. But uh, the last question I have for you is, how can we help our people understand that we are the cool, that we set the trend? Because I feel like, well, just to that point you're talking about, a lot of us go out of the way to like try to fit into something else because we think it has like the status.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we fail to realize like the status is us. We status.
Yeah.
So it's like, what more can we do to help our young people recognize that, especially our young people?
I mean, for us, for real, all we really have to do is just pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on in media. Pay attention to what's going on, like in America. Just pay attention to the things that happen. If you look at like this, like entertainers, for instance, like rappers, comedians. Like if a rapper, like if a certain amount of rappers are talking about something, you're going to see a spike in that company's growth or that company's popularity.
Yep.
Like all these brands and all these everything that these rappers are talking about are becoming popular.
Mm.
Like, and that's a direct link to our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like we really make everything like that. We really make everything popping. And for us really not to see that, it's really hindering our growth as a culture.
Mm-hmm.
But all we have to do is open our eyes and really pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah. No, I believe that, man. So that's our challenge, man. That is the challenge, but also the purpose, to make sure that we continue to beat on that drum so that our young people can be in a better position than we are right now.
Hmm. Yep. So man, I'm definitely on a mission, man. I appreciate you for having me. I'm moving to Atlanta in 2 weeks, so
Oh, okay.
it's gonna be a new challenge for me. It's gonna be new opportunities, but
Yep.
I'm moving down there on a mission to really grow this brand and really like come in contact with the right people.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like I am brushing elbows with certain people, but I want to be more. I want to be like in the culture,
Yeah.
um, and I feel like being down there is gonna help me. But pretty soon, man, it's gonna be not a new brand, a bigger brand.
Man, that's it. That's what we're moving for, man. And that's what we gonna put our energy towards and making sure that we make that happen on our end to
Yeah,
make sure we highlighting everything that you're doing and supporting what you're doing, more importantly. And moving on from there, man. But man, appreciate you. Thank you
no,
so much for your time. Thank you for coming up with the concept of the brand because it's dope. I love everything you rock. Every time I go on your website and I see you got something in my size, I'm on it. I'm telling
yeah, I
you.
appreciate you, man, because I've been seeing like since the beginning. I've been seeing your name up
Yeah, yeah,
come
oh
up
yeah,
often. So
yeah,
I definitely appreciate it. You definitely one of the biggest supporters, man. I really appreciate that because this brand needs people like you that's going to support.
absolutely, man. We gonna keep that going, man. We gonna keep it rocking, bro. So you keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna do my part.
All right, I appreciate it. If you
Yes,
can't
sir.
save this live, please save this live. For my people that follow me, and you're in this live, please go follow this gentleman. Show him as much love as you show me. It'll be definitely greatly appreciated.
Oh man, vice versa. I appreciate that, and we gonna keep rocking like this, man.
All right, share you, man.
All right, King.
I have a go.
Have a good one, man. There we have it, right there. That's our Brody. Um, Brandon Sykes, as you see, just in the pandemic, graduated within the pandemic, but also said that he wanted to do something to have ownership. And from that idea, it came up with the concept of a clothing brand, but a clothing brand that represents something that I think is the most important aspect of who we are, and is tapping into knowing that we have value. So much has been done. We have been conditioned to think that we don't have value unless we are attaching ourselves to something else that someone else has put in our head that has value. And I'm gonna keep saying this till I turn blue. It's like we are the cool. I think we have to always realize that we set the trend. We are the cool. Whatever we do, everyone else follows. Where would this world, like, no, not even exaggerating, where would this world be without black folk? Like, what would it be? And I think we have to always make sure that we keep that in mind, as we move, and know that it's not the power source is not outside anywhere. The power source is us. The power source is within us. So it's a matter of us tapping into that and move forward with it. So brands like Black is Wealth clothing definitely is a brand that represents that. And Brandon is a brother that's genuine about that cause and making sure that we understand that too, with just like pieces of what he puts together for his clothing brand. So again, let's continue to support each other. Let's try our best to make sure that any people that we know that's doing something, we support them. And it doesn't mean that we spending money. If we got money to spend, cool. But we definitely can we definitely can double tap, we definitely can retweet, we definitely can reshare. You know what I mean? So let's continue to move on that path, man. So we can build, we can continue to grow. One thing I'll say this, and I'm gonna close out. Something that bothers me about, like, when we have moments like what we're going through right now, this unfortunate, horrific domestic terrorist attack in Buffalo, is that we'll have folks that'll come up and be like, I'm not supporting any more. I'm from this, like, in my protest, I'm going to support a black brand. That should be off the rip. Like, it shouldn't just be like when we protest and we're looking for black brands to support. That should be something that we do all the time. And I'm not trying to sound preachy, but I think it is important for us to understand that all we have is us. And if we're not supporting us, then who will? So that becomes so important. So again, shout outs to Brandon. Big salute to him, as well as with the clothing brand. And if you don't follow him, please be sure to follow Black is Wealth Clothing. And we're going to continue to stay connected with him and see what he brings to the game moving on in the future. Thank y'all for tapping in. Hopefully, again, y'all having a great week. I know it's been difficult. I know it's been rough, but hopefully we having some time to kind of check in with one another, decompress, talk, whatever we have to do to feel better about what's going on and move forward as a people. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. Shout outs to everyone that's on. Beware the hat, bro. Yeah, this came from Nubia Apparel. I'll shoot you the link so you can check out what they got too. All right, man. Peace.